Hey, Bree. What's up, Ava? Hey, Jules. Donnie, what's up, brother? Allie, Dean, Jackie boy. People just rolling in. Leah. Maddie Johnson. Nice. Good turnout so far. Opening day of Wonder. One of my favorites. Kira. Nice. I didn't see Christian, did you? He made a comment. Bobby made a comment. I didn't see either one of those guys. No. Maybe they're on their way. Let's see what they said. Maybe they said to hold it. They said they can't get on these bananas. Let me see if I'll reshare it with them. How are we going to do this? Somebody just got on. Who was it? Bells? Bells just got on. Who is that? Who is McAteer? What's up, Michael Johnson? Cry for sure. My screen is freezing. Allison. Wonder. Allison is all clouds. I'm sorry, Isabella. Oh, okay. That's Ryan. Perfect. Bobby's in. Can we get Christian in? We're waiting on Christian. Ali is back as herself here. Ava, yes, you're going to cry for sure. Let's see if Christian, what's going on with Christian? Any luck, Christian? See if he responds. He's always on. It would be a bummer if he's not. Come on, Christian, speak to me. I got Aaliyah, Adonis, Allison, Ryan, Ava, Bobby, Brianna, Dean, Aaliyah, twice, Isabella, Jack, Julia. Oh, Julia Madonna. Hey, Julia. Kira, Maddie Johnson. Great numbers. Missing a few. Preston's. We're missing Kira. Missing Christian. We're going to have to get started soon. Dylan. I didn't know I was on TV. Hey, I finished Wonder tonight. Can you just wait? Let me finish it, Aaliyah. Aaliyah. Drive me crazy. Okay. French Bulldogs are a very good puppy, Isabella. They're very sweet. Okay, we're going to get started. Okay. Today we have my wife. I told you is Jewish, so today we have we're having a seder at 6:30. So I got the house smells like brisket. We've never cooked it here before because we're the type that like to go to people's houses on holidays. We don't like to host the holidays. Christian replied. Let's see what he says. No, not sure, bud. Why? We are all in. So the house smells really good. Joe Willie is always with us. You have the parties, Julia? We don't have the parties. I like to go to people's houses, eat, come home to a clean house. I hate people hanging out of my house when I'm ready. Just want to relax and watch the football games. Hate it. I want to be able to leave when I want to leave and go home to a clean house. That's what I want. I don't want to have to clean a house the next day and get chairs and tables and not for me. Joe Willie's a god, no doubt. Now, okay, the book Wonder. We're going to start. I hate doing without Christian because he's been here every day. It's a great book, great movie, great book. Even if you've read it already, I've read it 7 times. I could read it 100 times. It's still very good. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sorry to hear that, Aaliyah. Okay, now let's gear everything to the book. This is now our book time. Our book time. That's nice here, cousins. Okay, here we go. All book. No more party talk. No more sad talk about puppies. All right, Ryan's in. My mom always hosts because we have the big house. I could have guessed that, Ava. I could have guessed that. Okay. So the book starts with the word ordinary. Ordinary. And we know how Mr. Cavanaugh feels about that word ordinary. Why be ordinary when you could be extraordinary? Melissa's listening. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Welcome to our read. Ava, you should tell Alexa she should be reading with us also. I don't care how old you get. It's a great book to know. Okay, the main character of the book is named August. Hey, Nick. August, the main character's name. August. I think it's a great name. Fate smiled and destiny laughed as she came to my cradle. That's the book, right? That's the book title. I like how it starts. I think it's pretty cool. Faceless character. Faceless character. Ordinary. Now, this is being told through August's perspective. So you're like through his eyes right now. Okay? This is through his eyes. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream. I ride my bike. I play ball. I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish that I had a normal face, that no one ever noticed at all. I wish that I could walk down the street without people seeing me and then doing that look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is that no one else sees me that way. Yes, Bobby does have a little bullying in it. Yeah, absolutely. But here's the issue. When people see him, they get nervous. They get scared just to look at him. They run away. Or you ever look at something that catches your eye and you stare at it, but you know you're embarrassing somebody, so you look away quick. Like, oh, I'm pretending like I'm looking at doing something else. Imagine if that's how people looked at you when they saw you. They see you and they quickly look away because they don't want to make you feel bad, but they're curious of what's going on. That's strange. So he says he feels ordinary on the inside, and the only thing that makes him not ordinary is that the people that are looking at him don't think that he's ordinary. So it's sad. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now. I know how to pretend. I don't see the faces people make. We've all got pretty good at that sort of thing. Mom, Dad, Via. Actually, I take that back. Via is not so good at it. She can really get annoyed when people do something rude. Like, for instance, one time in the playground, some other kids made some noises. And I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't really hear them myself, but Via heard. And she just started yelling at the kids. That's the way she is. I'm not that way. So Via is his older sister. And there's a couple older sisters listening in today. And I bet you can agree that you have no problem yelling at your brother or your sister. No problem at all. But if somebody else treats them badly, that's going to be a problem. I've seen sisters in action when they're not happy with something that happened to their younger siblings. They will attack. So that's how Via is. Don't be saying anything about my brother. You're going to have an issue. August is not like that. But Via is very defensive. Very, Aaliyah, exactly, very defensive. Via doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does, but if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she needed to protect me so much. And Mom and Dad, they don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think I'm the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am. My name is August. By the way, I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. Chapter 2, Why I Didn't Go to School. Next week, I start the 5th grade. Since I've never been to a real school before, I'm pretty much totally and completely petrified. People think I haven't gone to school because of the way I look. But it's not that. It's because of all the surgeries I've had. 27 surgeries in my life. The bigger ones happened before I was even 4 years old, so I don't really remember those. But I've had 2 or 3 surgeries every year since then. Some big, some small, and because I'm so little for my age, and I have some other medical mysteries that doctors never really figured out, I used to get sick a lot. That's why my parents decided it was better if I didn't go to school at all. I'm much stronger now, though. The last surgery I had was 8 months ago. I probably won't have to have another for another couple of years. A lot of surgeries in his life. A lot of surgeries. Mom homeschools me. Now, many of you didn't know what that was, homeschool, until the past couple of weeks. So August has had this kind of schooling his whole life, and his mom is his teacher. Some of your moms and dads have been your teachers these past couple of weeks. I'm sure that's been fun. I'd have to ask your parents about that one. She used to be a children's book illustrator. She draws really great fairies and mermaids. Her boy stuff isn't so hot, though. She once tried to draw me a Darth Vader, but it ended up looking like some weird mushroom-shaped robot. I haven't seen her draw anything in a long time. I think she's too busy taking care of me and Via to draw anymore. Hey, Christian, welcome back. I can't say I always wanted to go to school because that wouldn't be exactly true either. What I wanted was to go to school. But only if I could be like every other kid going to school. have lots of friends and hang out after school and stuff like that. I have a few really good friends, though. Their names are Christopher, he's my best friend, followed by Zachary and Alex. We've known each other since we were babies. And since they've always known me the way I am, they're used to me by now. When we were little, we used to have play dates all the time. But then Christopher moved to Bridgeport in Connecticut. I live in New York City, by the way. That's more than an hour from where I live in North River Heights, which is at the top tip of Manhattan. And Zachary and Alex, they started going to school. It's funny, even though Christopher's the one who moved far away, I still see him more than I see Zachary and Alex. They all have new friends now, and they don't really have time for me. If we bump into each other on the street, they'll still be nice to me, though. They always say hello. I have other friends too, but not as good as Christopher and Zachary and Alex were. For instance, Zach and Alex always invited me to their birthday parties when we were little, but Joel and Iman and Gabe never did. Emma invited me once, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And of course, I always go to Christopher's birthday. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal about birthday parties. Maybe I shouldn't want to go to so many birthday parties. Chapter 3. So you're getting a little feeling about his life, how he doesn't really have much. How I came to life. You're going to laugh a little bit. This is the story of when he was born. Obviously, he doesn't remember it, but he was told by his mother and his father. Some pretty funny things in this story, in this chapter. I like when Mom tells this story because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way a joke is funny, but when Mom tells it, Thea and I start cracking up. So when I was in my mom's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking like this. Mom had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park. Mom's expression. That there was no reason to run any special tests for me. About 2 months before I was born, the doctor realized there was something wrong. With my face, but they didn't think it was going to be bad. They told Mom and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it small anomalies. A cleft palate is when you're born with your lip not fully formed, but it's surgeries that you're able to correct that nowadays. There's plenty of people in my life that have had cleft palates. It's really not an issue at all. Again, it's normally correctable with surgery. This is not a true story, no. There were 2 nurses in the delivery room the night I was born. One was very nice and sweet. The other one, Mom said, did not seem at all nice or sweet. She had very big arms. And here comes the funny part. She kept farting. Like she'd bring Mom some ice chips and then fart. She'd check Mom's blood pressure, and you guessed it, fart. Mom says it was unbelievable because the nurses never even said, "Excuse me." Meanwhile, Mom's regular doctor wasn't on duty that night. So Mom got stuck with this cranky kid doctor. She and Dad nicknamed Doogie after some old TV show or something. You ask your parents about who Doogie Howser is. They'll know. He's we used to watch it on Channel 4 or 7. It was our sitcom about a kid doctor. They didn't actually call him that to his face, though. But Mom says that even though everyone in the room was kind of grumpy, Dad kept making her laugh all night long. When I came out of Mom's stomach, she said the whole room got very quiet. Mom didn't even get a chance to look at me because the nice nurse immediately rushed me out of the room because they could tell when the baby was born that he didn't look right. Dad was in such a hurry to follow her that he dropped the video camera, which broke into a million pieces. And then Mom got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going with me. But the farting nurse put her very long arms on Mom to keep her down in the bed. They were practically fighting because Mom was hysterical and the farting nurse was yelling at her to stay calm. And then they both started screaming for the doctor. But guess what? The doctor fainted right on the floor. So when the farting nurse saw that he had fainted, she started pushing him with her foot to get him to wake up, yelling at him the whole time. What kind of doctor are you, fainting? What kind of doctor are you? Get up, get up. And then all of a sudden, she let out the biggest, loudest, smelliest fart in the history of all farts. Mom thinks it was actually the fart that finally woke the doctor up. Anyway, when Mom tells this story, she acts out all the parts, including the farty noises. And it's so funny. Mom says the farting nurse turned out to be a very nice woman. She stayed with Mom the whole time. Let's hope she didn't fart the whole time. Didn't leave her side even after Dad came back and the doctors told them how sick I was. Mom remembers exactly what the nurse whispered in her ear when the doctor told her I probably wouldn't live to see the night. So they thought August was going to die that night, the night he was born. Everyone born of God overcometh the world. And the next day, after I had lived through the night, and I was already kind of like a miracle baby, it was that nurse who held Mom's hand when they brought her to meet me for the first time. Mom says by then, they had told her all about me. She had been preparing herself for seeing me. But she says that when she looked down into my tiny mushed up face for the first time, all she could see was how pretty my eyes were. Mom is beautiful, by the way, and Dad, very handsome. Via is pretty as well. And just in case you were wondering where I came from. Christopher's house. I was really bummed when Christopher moved away 3 years ago. We were both around 7 then. I know you guys will love that. Action figures and dueling with our lightsabers. I missed that. Yes, Bobby, chapter 3. Last spring, we drove out to Christopher's house in Bridgeport. Me and Christopher were looking for snacks in the kitchen, and I heard Mom talking to Lisa, Christopher's mom, about me going to school in the fall. I had never, ever heard her mention school to me before, or to anyone about me before. Yeah, you might be right. It might be 4, Julia. It's page 8 if you have the book at home. What are you talking about? I said to my mother. Mom looked surprised, like she hadn't meant for me to hear that. You should tell him what you're thinking about, Isabel, Dad said. He was on the other side of the living room talking to Christopher's dad. We should talk about it later, said Mom. No, I want to know what you're talking about, I answered. Don't you think you're ready for school, Augie? Mom said. No, I said. I don't either, said Dad. Then that's it. Case closed, I said, shrugging, and I sat her in her lap like I was a baby. I just think you need to learn more than I can teach you, Mom said. I mean, come on, August. You know how bad I am at fractions. What school? I said. I already felt like crying. Beecher Prep, right by us. Wow, that's a great school, Augie, said Lisa, patting my knee. Why not Via School? I said. That's too big, Mom answered. I don't think that would be a good fit for you. I don't want to go, I said. I admit, I made my voice sound a little babyish. You know how we do that. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, Dad said, coming over and lifting me out of Mom's lap. He carried me over to sit on his lap on the other side of the sofa. We won't make you do anything you don't want to do. But it would be good for him, Nate. Mom said. Not if he doesn't want to go, answered Dad, looking at me. Not if he's not ready. I saw Mom look at Lisa, who reached over and squeezed her hand. You guys will figure it out, she said to Mom. You always have. Let's just talk about it later, said Mom. I could tell she and Dad were going to get into a fight about it. I wanted Dad to win the fight, though a part of me knew Mom was right. And the truth is, she really was bad at fractions. Driving. It was a long drive home. I fell asleep in that back seat like I always do, my hand on Via's lap like she was my pillow, a towel wrapped around the seatbelt so it wouldn't drool all over her. Via fell asleep too, and Mom and Dad talked quietly about grown-up things I didn't care about. I don't know how long I was sleeping, but when I woke up, there was a full moon outside the car window. It was a purple night, and we were driving on a highway full of cars. And then I heard Mom and Dad talking about me. We can't keep protecting him, Mom whispered to Dad, who was driving. We can't just pretend he's going to wake up tomorrow and this isn't going to be his reality, because it is. And we have to help him learn to deal with it. We can't just keep avoiding every uncomfortable situation. So sending him off to the middle of school like a lamb to the slaughter, that's your solution? Dad answered angrily, but he didn't even finish his sentence because he saw me in the mirror looking up. What's a lamb to slaughter? I asked sleepily. Go back to sleep, Augie, Dad said softly. You mean everyone will stare at me at school? I said, suddenly starting to cry. Honey, Mom said. She turned around in front seat and put her hand on my hand. You know, if you don't want to do this, you really don't have to. But we spoke to the principal there, and he told me about you. We told him about you, and he really wants to meet you. What did you tell him about me? You know, how funny you are, and how kind, and how smart. When I told him you said when you read Dragon Rider, when you were 6, he was like, wow, I have to meet this kid. Did you tell him anything else, Mom? I said. Mom smiled at me. Her smile kind of hugged me. I told him about all of your surgeries. And I told him how brave you are, she said. So he knows what I look like? I asked. Well, we brought pictures from last summer in Montauk, Dad said. We showed him pictures of the whole family. And that great shot of you holding that flounder on the boat? You were there too? I have to admit, I felt a little disappointed that he was a part of this plan. We both talked to him, Augie, yes, Dad said. He's a really nice man. You would like him, Mom asked. Suddenly it felt like they were both on the same side, and I was on the other. Wait, so when did you meet him? I asked. He took us on a tour of the school last year, said Mom. Last year? I said. So you've been thinking about this for a whole year and you didn't tell me? We didn't know if you'd even get in, Augie, answered Mom. It's a very hard school to get into. There's a whole admissions process. I didn't see the point in telling you and having you get all worked up unnecessarily. But you're right, Augie. We should have told you when we found out last month that you got in, said Dad. In hindsight, sighed Mom. Yeah, I guess we should have told you. Did that lady who came to the house that same time have something to do with this? I said. The one that gave me the test? Yes, actually, said Mom, looking guilty. Yes. You told me it was an IQ test. You lied? I said. I know, well, that was a little white lie, she answered. It was a test you needed to take to get into the school. You did very well on it, by the way. So you lied again, I said. It was a white lie, but yes, sorry, she said, trying to smile. But when I didn't smile back, she turned around in her seat and faced forward. What's a lamb to slaughter? I said. Mom sighed and gave Dad a look. You know that look of all the things to say. I shouldn't have said that, Dad said, looking at me in the rearview mirror. It's not true. Here's the thing, Augie. Mommy and I love you so much. We want to protect you any way we can. It's just sometimes we want to do it in different ways. I don't want to go to school, I answered, folding my arms. It was really good for you, Augie, to go, Mom said. Maybe I'll go next year, I answered. No. This year would be better, Augie, said Mom. You know why? Because you'll be going into 5th grade, and that's the first year of middle school for everyone. You won't be the only new kid. I'll be the only kid who looks like this, I said. I'm not going to say it won't be a big challenge for you because you know better than that, she answered. But it'll be good for you, Augie. You'll make a lot of friends, and you'll learn things you never learned with me. She turned in her seat again and looked at me. When we took the tour, you know what they have in their science lab? A little baby chick that was just hatching out of its eggs. It was so cute. Augie, it actually kind of reminded me of you when you were a little baby, with those big brown eyes of yours. I usually love when they talk about me when I was a baby. Sometimes I want to curl up into a little tiny ball and let them hug me and kiss me all over. I miss being a baby, not knowing stuff, but I wasn't in the mood for that now. I don't want to go, I said. How about this? Can you at least meet Mr. Tushman before making up your mind? Mom asked. Mr. Tushman, I said. He's the principal, answered Mom. Mr. Tushman, I repeated. I know, right? Dad said, smiling and looking at me in the rearview mirror. Can you believe that name, Augie? I mean, who on earth would ever agree to have a name like Tushman? I smiled, even though I didn't want to let them see me smile. You know, you guys have been so angry with your parents, and then something funny happens, but you want to pretend like you're still mad, but you want to smile, but you don't want to smile. I've been there. Some of you do it with me. Aaliyah, Adonis. Dad was the one person in the world who could make me laugh, no matter how much I didn't want to laugh. Dad always made everyone laugh. Augie, you know, you should go to that school just so you can hear his name said over the loudspeaker, Dad said excitedly. Can you imagine how funny that would be? Hello, hello, paging Mr. Tushman. Please, Mr. Tushman, call the office. He was using a fake high old lady voice. Hi, Mr. Tushman. I see you're running a little behind today. Did your car get rear-ended? What a bum rap. I started laughing, not even because I thought he was being that funny, but because I wasn't in the mood to stay mad anymore. It could be worse, though, Dad continued in his normal voice. Mommy and I had a professor in college called Mrs. Butt. Mom was laughing now, too. Is that for real? I said. Roberta Butt was her name. Mom answered, raising her hand as if to swear. Bobby Butt. She had huge cheeks, said Dad. Nate, said Mom. Well, she had big cheeks is all I'm saying. Mom laughed and shook her head at the same time. Hey, you know what? Said Dad excitedly. Let's try to fix them up on a blind date. Can you imagine? Mrs. Butt, meet Mr. Tushman. Mr. Tushman, here's Mrs. Butt. They could get married and have a bunch of little tushies. Poor Mr. Tushman, answered Mom, shaking her head. Augie hasn't even met the man yet, Nate. Who's Mr. Tushman? Via said groggily. She had just woken up from sleeping in the car. He's the principal at my new school, I answered. We're going to stop there for today. What I want you to think about is that last line that I read today. Augie ends the chapter with saying, he's the principal of my new school. Why is that line so important as readers? What do you think that line is telling you? He's the principal at my new school. What do you think it means? Why am I saying that line is so important? I'm waiting for someone to get the answer here. He's the principal at my new school, he says to Bia. Julia got it. You got it, Dean Coke. Yes, Isabella. It means that he's at least opening his mind. Yes, Bree. Yes, Aaliyah. He's opening his mind to the thought of going to school. Tomorrow, we find out. Yes, Jack. It's his school. It's his school. Very good. Very good, guys. Tomorrow, Augie goes on the tour of the school, and they get to meet Mr. Tushman and a few other people that we're gonna get to know. And some of them we're gonna like, and some of them you're not gonna like. Okay? That's it for tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 4 for the next round of chapters. Very excited about this book. I hope you enjoyed it. I would continue, but I got to head out somewhere. I'll be back soon. Tomorrow, though. I'll talk to you later. If you celebrate the Seder and you're Jewish, happy Seder Day. Bye-bye.